was laughing in the morning. Before any kind of miracle take place, atmosphere is created. Before any kind of miracle take place on earth, the first approach or preparation is to create atmosphere. That is why on Wednesday I'm going to be writing a course on the last course on that, on God want to be rich, on atmosphere for prosperity. Now, atmosphere is very expensive. Atmosphere is very expensive. An atmosphere is an altar. So each time we want God to bless us, the first approach to such blessing is to create atmosphere. Now, one of the atmosphere to create is to get daddy to laugh. Make it part of this resolution of this year to make daddy to laugh. Some of us, to make daddy to laugh, it has become very late in our lives. But I don't care how late it is, go back. We're going to study these scriptures and I will allow you to see. I will allow you to see. I'm trying to persuade God to do something very unique for you. That is why I'm coming this way. Very, very unique for you. Before we read scripture, let me ask you to listen. There are some places in your life that strangers cannot take. Let me say again. There are places God gives to some people over your life, and you can't choose the person that will have it. Like that, this place. That this place cannot be replaced. That is why all the children that had favor in the sight of their father were very unique children. What if something go wrong with daddy, which is a man's root? Which is a man's root? That thing I have touched something. Let me say again. If something goes wrong with daddy, which is a man's root, that thing touched everything the person has. If you look at 37, 1 to 11 of the book of Genesis, the Bible says that Jacob loved Joseph. It's not a game. If you're here and you're listening and you're alive, it's not a game. That a boy was blessed enough to get love from daddy. Excuse me, everything that made me shepherd of Locust's army, mentally, how do I say it? Spiritually, even in preparation, came from my father's influence. I didn't know God. It was daddy that introduced me to God. It was daddy that took me to church. It was daddy that loved me. Daddy gave me boldness. It was, try and listen to me. I'm like talking about myself and preaching. Try and listen. It was the love that my father had for me that gave me boldness. It was the love my father had for me that gave me mentality of immortality. Because the mentality of immortality is a mentality that believes in impossibility. Because my father knew how to supply my needs, even as a man. He was sufficient. So I didn't have defeat as a boy. Because of daddy's attention in my life, I believe that nothing is impossible. Let me give you an example. How I collect money for school fees, that when I am on my way to school, when they tell us to pay, when I dress up, I will open his room and say, Daddy, they ask us to pay school fees. Give me the school fees. He will tell me, he said, do you want it now? I said, you want it? He said, can I give you now? I should come to your school. I would say, do you want to come to school? He said yes. He will leave and then come to my school. That same day I pay. Now, when he was doing that, he was creating something in my mentality, but he didn't know. And God, in infinite power, knew that I was to preach immortality. And he made me to come late when my father was desperate. I don't know how. I came. God was intelligent enough to know that I must come to my father when he was desperate about a boy. He was desperate. My mother told me that when he gave back to my immediate senior sister, my father didn't come to hospital. When my father landed, my mother gave birth to a girl. The third time, my father didn't go to hospital to go and check for her. So when my mother took in the fourth time, she knew there was a problem. Now, this is not something you tell her. It's something she knew in her mind. That if this man didn't come to hospital to see her when she delivered the third child, that it's only God that will know what will happen to her if she delivered the fourth child, girl. Let me repeat one story. Trying to bring analogy to what I'm talking about. Compare with the Bible will help you, because the Bible is given to us to learn. My mother told me that one day she went to Nkwo, those of us who came from where I came from. He said that she was already pregnant, and something told her to go and meet a soothsayer she knew to help her get a boy. He said she went to the soothsayer, and the man told her that she's going to come to his chamber in another town, that he's going to carve the face of a boy and give her to sleep with. When this was going on, my father didn't know. He didn't know anything was going on. That was in the market day. So my mother said he agreed with that man, and agreed with that man that she will go to see him in that chamber. But he said, but later when she went to stay in her style, he said like something told her, God can give her a boy. Can't she trust God and get a boy from God? She said that made meaning to her, so she went and bought something, a kind of food in the market there, and went and gave to the man, and told the man that he's not going to come to that place for boy, that God will give her a boy. Now she told me that from that time she discovered that her womb become like glassy, that she had rainbow, that when she opened her, I said, discovered that particular region that like I was sitting there was like rainbow. That place was shining. Now let me not worry about story, because I have so many things to say. When I was born, my father loved me. He didn't just love me because I was a boy. He loved me because when I was born, I was very handsome. Try and get it. Because some of us play with some factors. Don't play with beauty. I used to have red hair. I grew up to see that I had red hair. That is something like brownish hair. He said he left me completely around class 3 secondary school. I was still having it in secondary school, early part. And then I grew up to meet genuine love. Much. I met it. I met my father coming to my school to come and worry me about going to buy me Christmas clothes. I met my father trying to tell me to sleep on his bed. Even when I was an adult. One day I was in school and he came to take me to go and buy me. There's one cloth because my father is rich. He went to take me to the market to go and buy. My father is rich. So when we finished buying things, I came back and dropped me. The headmaster called me. I said, are you the first child of this man? I said, no. He said, but I'm his first son. He said, no wonder. And if he's taking me to that market, he doesn't put me at the back. He will put me at the tank of his motorcycle. so that I can be sure that I'm not falling down. Now, all these things we are consciousness. The Bible said in 37 of 3 of the book of Genesis that Jacob loved Joseph, and then the boy dreamt. A boy that his father loved can't suffer. Try and listen. A boy that his father loved genuinely can't suffer. A boy that his father loved genuinely and made him clothes of multiple colors can't be exposed to certain attacks. A boy that grew in a family where he is loved doesn't understand defeat. Defeat is a mentality that people receive from their family early because of abandonment. Somebody did hear what I said. If somebody said, I feel like I should die, that feeling is feeling of somebody who was abandoned early. Maybe 1 or 2 persons is understanding what I'm talking. Don't do it to your children. The first approach to a child raising is not discipline. If you don't love your child and you're disciplining, you will cause him to be rebellious. You don't discipline a child that you don't love. The first approach to discipline a child is to love him first. Now, when you love a child and he knew, he will do everything to make you happy. Because love is reciprocal. He reciprocates. That this is you tell that you love him and not even telling him. If your son discovers that you love him, he will do everything to please you. So the other thing of trying to flog him is extra. If you tell him once, sometimes when he see you behave, when you show him that you're not happy, he feels it. Because love connects. I'll be fine in this service. Please try and listen to me. I said love connects. So why will a child want to hurt you when he knows you love him? Huh? Why will your child willingly hurt you when you know? If your child loves you and he will not smoke cigarette if you don't like it. This is I'm talking about is not being care of. But I want to tell you why we're reading Bible is in my course here. Why we're reading Bible is that the Jews have understanding. They know the power of loving their children. They understand it. And I'm preaching this because this is a year of harvest of miracle, of harvest of God's promises. You cannot afford to destroy your future in your children, because your children are still you. If you look at the book of Genesis, I think we should read 1 to 37. The book of Genesis, chapter 37, 1 to 11. Somebody may read it, but the time is running away.
And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was a stranger,
Solomon, hurry.
in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob.
Joseph, being 17 years old, he was feeding the flock with his brethren.
And the lad was with the sons of Bela, and with the sons of Sephar, his father's wife. And Joseph brought unto his father the evil report.
Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children. Go ahead.
Because he was the son of his old age.
Yes.
And he made him a coat of many colors.
The Bible said, can you see? There was a because. Now sometimes this issue of pushing, this issue of trying to push somebody to love somebody is not the method. Somebody did hear what I said. As encouraging somebody to love somebody is not the method. I've told you when I was telling my story that my father loved me because I came when I came. If I was the first son, well, he could have still loved me, but not that way. He loved me that way because I was desperate. Listen, every kind of love has reason that God attached to it. God. That is why love is divine. Some certain kind of love is divine. Somebody said, I don't know why I love that way. He said, because it is divine. There is still something you need to discover why you love that way. Now the Bible said just Jacob loved his son because he came back to him at old age. The Bible said there was a because. Now why he loved him that way, he reacted to that love by making him tunic, that is apparel of multiple colors. Now that tunic of multiple colors represent what I call impartation, a kind of relationship, a kind of sharing life together that only love can prompt. Sharing genuine life together, only love can prompt. There are different kinds of sharing, there are different kinds of relationship, but there are relationships that are eternal, and it is only love that can prompt it. That thing you're wearing is what my father made me when I was young. In our time, they call it my father is rich. Now, those things my father did affected me. Affected me up till now, up to today, and I'm preaching. It is those things my father did that made me a preacher. It wasn't only God. Try and listen. It wasn't only God that made me head of life and immortality. There was daddy's factor. There was daddy factor in it. Now, even though the daddy factor was also arranged by God, you see, because my daddy had to love me because I came that time. I came just like Joseph came at old age. Now, the Bible says after he has made him tunics of multiple colors. Try and listen. After he had made him what? Tunics of multiple colors. The tunics brought dream. There was a dream that came from daddy. There was a dream Joseph dreamed that came from Joseph's relationship with Jacob. Now, excuse me, don't you know that the dream comes from impartation? There must be something daddy will say to you that you will dream from. Let me say something very striking. If you are here, please don't, because your other children will misunderstand you. You're playing with a particular child of your life that you know that is very unique in your heart. Sometimes some people pretend that all their children have the same influence in their heart. It's a lie. The other day my children, my father was the person who introduced me to Horlicks. Who introduced me to Horlicks? Now, he introduced me to Horlicks when I was very small. And when he would go and buy me provisions and keep it in his cupboard and give me the room of the key of his room and the key of the cupboard. So when I come back, when all my sisters are looking for what they will eat, I will sneak into that room there, sneak into my father's room, open the cupboard and bring out the Horlicks and make tea and cabin biscuits inside there. And when they notice that I go there to go and take that, they got angry with my father. When they got angry with my father didn't stay here. Try and listen. He didn't stay here. He couldn't hide it. He couldn't. Shall I keep telling you a story? Now this I'm talking about cannot be separated from shepherd. You might be saying that it was God that called me. There was daddy's factor, human factor. Don't neglect